I'm Joanna Simpson here at Risk Minds International in Barcelona. Joining me now is Chawlas, political risk expert and CEO of London Politica. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And just explain to me how you're enjoying the conference.
I've been loving it. It's a beautiful venue, some really interesting people. I didn't realize that all the thought leadership and all the range of topics would be this diverse. I love the sort of three streams you've broken out to. I think risk as an industry can become, by its very nature, really, really jaded. And I think this conference does a good job of connecting the themes between those different parts of risk in ways that are genuinely actionable. And I think that's what matters.
Great. And what's the status of political risk right now?
It's a hard one. There's someone I've heard saying we're in a geopolitical recession, and I like the ring of that. We've just had the US midterms, which had an interesting result, and Georgia's going to be going on for a few months now. The Ukrainian-Russian war has occupied everyone's minds. The energy crisis occupied everyone's minds. I think we'll get through this winter. We've got the tanks filling up again. The real question is, what are we going to do about it next winter? I think, and the risk that's sort of always lurking in the background, especially kind of now that we're finally starting to think about it because of Ukraine, Russia, is China and Taiwan. The risk of invasion. Xi Jinping is watching this very, very closely. And he's learning all the lessons he can. And I think that's really one to watch.
And in terms of sort of the landscape for the future, 2023 and beyond,
Yeah.
What do you expect may happen there?
Sure. I just did a talk on what political risks are overlooked over the next 7-year time horizon, right? And I highlighted 3 big ones. The first, I think, is central bank-backed digital currencies, right? I think often as risk people, there's a tendency that, it's so embedded in our work that we can start talking about it in really technical terms. We forget the broader political, social ramifications of it. If China has 300 million people right now, which they do, who have a digital wallet with a central bank. And if China and the Communist Party can track how every single digital yuan is being used, that has massive implications for digital authoritarianism and surveillance, right? It has massive implications for social strife. And that's really one to watch. I think we should be looking at rare earth minerals, right? 80% of our rare earth minerals come from China. We need them to make everything, from this mic to the camera that's recording me. And we don't have the first clue about how to sort of, onshore, nearshore those supply chains back to the West. And the last thing is, let's look at the rise of open source intelligence, right? Let's change the way we do risk analysis. We focused so long, especially in political risk, on looking at experts, on looking at former ambassadors and foreign ministers, and going to them for advice on the countries they were in. But we now live in an age of big data and cheap satellite imagery and limitless social media. These are resources that we should be using. Certainly, I'm using to uncover all sorts of gaps in government intelligence. And I think it's the main risk, but it's also the main opportunity going ahead.
Chawlas, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much.